This year, I was able to align my annual paid vacation from work with the week of my birthday. I've never worked on my birthday, and every year I seem to take more days off before and after the actual day. But this is the first time I'm actually being paid for it. Honestly, this is the first time any of my jobs has ever offered me a paid vacation. Is this what adulthood feels like? Vacation pay aside, having guaranteed free time in conjunction with my flight benefits was my confirmation that I would be celebrating my birthday in a foreign country, any foreign country. After much deliberation and indecision and looking at the flight loads to different destinations, I finally decided on Greece, Athens in particular. The flight from Boston to Athens was about 9 hours, but thankfully, I was blessed with a lay-flat seat up in first class, so the ride was super comfortable. Once I arrived in Athens, I found the metro and took the train for about 45 minutes from the airport to the Monostrati station, which is pretty close to my hostel. I showed up a few hours before their check-in time, but the receptionist allowed me to check in early, which I always appreciate. Good evening from Athens. I just woke up from a nap. I am making my way to a rooftop bar for dinner because I haven't eaten since my flight. So earlier today when I woke up, I wanted to clean up my face a little bit. So I took my hair clippers and I plugged them into the converter that I have, and they started going crazy. So that sort of stressed me out right at the beginning of the day. And I knew that my options were either to find a barber shop here and hope that they have at least some familiarity with how to cut black men's facial hair, or to find a pair of clippers that are European so that I don't have to plug them into the converter. So that's what I just did. Actually, I found a beauty supply store that was about 12 minutes walking distance from my hostel. So I'm just leaving there now. I found a pair of clippers for less than $50. I feel a lot better already. Of course, I still have to go back to the hostel and hope that they do a good job, but you know, I'm sure they will. And I'm praying that they will, and I feel better. That was really bothering me, but one of my intentions for this trip is to learn how to let go and how to relax and how to stop getting worked up over trivial things. It's something I've been learning about myself recently, is that I sometimes get really worked up about things that don't really hold that much weight in the grand scheme of life. So I really want to stop doing that. Although I planned to be in Athens for about a week, I only booked myself for 3 nights at my hostel because I prefer to see my accommodations in person before I commit to a longer stay. Athens Hub Hostel has been a wonderful choice for me, but unfortunately, I waited too long to extend my visit with them, and now they are completely sold out of beds this weekend. So, I have to migrate to another hostel. Alright, so I found my hostel, I checked in, it looks nice and clean, I got my bed a little bit early. I'm in a different neighborhood too, I forget what it's called, it starts with an E. I also don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll have to look it up and put the name down below. One thing about dining out in Greece is after you get your food, the server will not check on you. But I did know that from one of the YouTube videos that I watched, like 5 things you need to know before you come to Greece or something like that. I think it was Walter's World, so shout out to Walter's World. I was prepared, but it's still kind of annoying. I'm still on like Northeast time, always. Like, let's pick up the pace. I'm finished my food. I still have a little wine left, but it's just like the fact that I think so far at every restaurant I've been to, I have to like flag down the server, which is really annoying to me. Even in the States, when that happens, rarely, on occasion, it's annoying. I don't like flagging people down. My logic is always, when this happens, like what if I wanted to like order more food, another drink, dessert? But at least here I know it's cultural from what I've learned, and not just like a lack of service, so I'm not mad about it. Excuse me, but I am ready to go. I'm in a different neighborhood at this hostel. This neighborhood is called Exarchia. From what I've learned, it's like anti-establishment, anti-police. It's alternative, anarchistic. I think that a young boy was killed by a police officer, like a case of police brutality back in 2008, and the people of the neighborhood took to the streets and rioted. And I believe ever since then there has been little to no police presence in this neighborhood. I'll be here for at least 2 days at this hostel, and if I like it, I'll extend here. Solo traveling abroad is interesting because as someone who enjoys their own company, there is an undeniable loneliness that becomes apparent when you are in a different continent where you don't know anyone. Back home, I love to catch a vibe without depleting my social battery, so going out by myself is pretty standard for me. And it's nice because I can easily put on my extrovert hat if I'm in the mood to improvise a fun, spontaneous night with a cool stranger. While it's not impossible to do the latter in foreign countries, I do find it personally more challenging, maybe because of the language barrier, but also perhaps because other cultures are not as open to making small talk with random people like Americans are. My options: become fluent in every language of every country that I ever visit, or befriend the English-speaking tourists at my hostel. Having the clock strike midnight last night without any fanfare or anyone to celebrate me or even just keep me company left me feeling kind of isolated. So this morning when I woke up and I wrote in my daily journal, I made a birthday wish. I wished to make a friend. After stopping by a coffee shop for some tea, I wanted to go see some landmarks, so I started walking toward a museum that I had heard about. On the way there, I stopped at an intersection to wait for the light, and a man who had been keeping pace with me for a few blocks commented how sunny it was. He kept the conversation going as we seemed to be walking in the same direction, so I told him it was my birthday and he wished me a happy solar return. He said that he lived in the area, so he walked with me to the landmarks that I wanted to see, starting with the National Archaeological Museum. I took some pictures of the building's facade since all the tickets were sold out that day. There was another landmark nearby at a park with the name that I don't know how to pronounce, so we walked to the park because I wanted to see the statue of Athena. As a local, of course, he knew exactly where the statue was and he helped me find it. And after walking and talking and getting to know each other for about 30 minutes, we exchanged information under the wise, protective eye of Athena before going our separate ways. Although I don't know that we will have time to reconnect during this visit, I can now say that I have a friend in Athens, thanks to the power of manifestation. I was really hoping to power through the day, but once again, I am tired. I'm ready for a siesta, or whatever you would call it in Greek, a nap. So I think I'm gonna shower and get in bed, chill out, eventually take a nap, and I guess wake up tonight and maybe go to a rooftop. Kalispera. Good afternoon. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I did not end up going back out last night. I went inside to take a nap, and that didn't quite work out for whatever reason. Well, the first reason was one of my roommates at the hostel was very chatty, and the other one was just a regular amount of talkative, a normal amount, but somehow we all got wrangled into a conversation together, and that went on for a while until the really chatty one finally went out to go get dinner or something, and then I was able to unwind a bit. They ended up both leaving, and you would have thought that I'd be able to sleep at that point, but I couldn't fall asleep. I think that I had what did I have? It was black tea. It was really strong, and I had 2 cups because they gave me the whole kettle, so I think that's probably why I wasn't able to fall asleep. So I just kind of sat there for a while. I did fall asleep, but I didn't sleep through the whole night. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I don't have the energy to go back out. I feel like I had done enough during the day. I went out during the day. I was out the night before, and nothing was really happening the night before. It's just I go out, I sit at the bars, everybody's speaking Greek, everybody's with their friends. It's the same vibe in Spain, same vibe in Lisbon, I don't know what else I can do. There's not much I can do except become all the way fluent. So I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything by staying in. And I've been out all day and all night since I've been here, so I just needed a break, I guess. Calimera. It's about 7 a.m. I don't know what that noise was, but okay. It's about 7 a.m. and I'm making my way to the Acropolis. Today is October 28th, which is a national holiday in Greece, officially called Ohi Day. And I believe, from my quick study learning about it, that the day celebrates the pushback from the Greeks against Mussolini's regime back in the war days. Now, I'm not a historian. What is it? Back when they were doing, what was that, World War II, I think Mussolini and his people tried to, give Greece an ultimatum of like, let us in to your country or we will come into your country forcefully, because they wanted to set up like stations for military purposes, I guess. And I just realized that sound is probably for the holiday. They're probably like setting off like firework type explosions, cannonballs or something, whatever they do in Greece to commemorate like days like this. But the first one really scared me, and a car alarm started going off a few blocks behind me. But yeah, that noise is probably to celebrate the holiday. So I am up really early because I went to sleep really early yesterday. I went to sleep early yesterday because, one, I was actually tired and I wanted to go to sleep. And two, I thought it would be a good idea to go to sleep early so that I could have a better chance of waking up early, because today, like I said, is October 28th, the national holiday. And that means that the Acropolis is free to the public. I figure it's going to be crowded because it's free, so I want to get there early. My goal is to get there by like 7:30. I think that it opens up at 8, and I read that all the tour buses drop people off at 8:30 at the earliest, so I think if I could be there like an hour before those buses get there, I should be in good shape to see what I need to see and do what I need to do. So happy October 28th to all my Greeks out there. These poor birds, they don't know what to do. So I made it to the Acropolis, and my timing was perfect. I think I arrived to the ticket counter at about 7 or 7:10, and I was the 10th person in line. And with each passing minute, there were just more and more people in line. So perfect timing. Okay, I climbed all the way up the Acropolis to the Parthenon, saw that, took a picture, bought the t-shirt, and now I'm gonna walk down here to the Theater of Dionysos and just pay a little respect. As a theater artist, classically trained, this is the birthplace of Western theater, so it's only right. We did it, Joe. I took on the Acropolis and I made it out alive. I'm so happy that I waited for this holiday to come to the Acropolis. It was free. It was very worth it. I was scared that I was going to lose the motivation to come because I didn't want to wake up early or because I thought it was too daunting or whatever reason. Sometimes I find reasons or excuses not to do things that I plan on doing. But I'm really glad that I went to sleep early last night and woke up early today and made my way down here, caffeinated with that beautiful green tea. It was great. Alright, Athens, it's been real, but it's time for me to go because there are like no seats back to the US from Athens for the foreseeable future. I guess everybody and their mom literally is in Athens, but you gotta get creative if you want to get back home. So I'm going to Paris. There are a good amount of seats from Paris back to the US, and there are even some of the good seats for now, but there's still like a week to go, and that could change, but my fingers are crossed because I would like to fly in comfort. At the very least, there are seats. There's not really a way to fly from one international city to another international city using my benefits, using my airline rather. But what I can do is fly another airline for a very discounted rate, and we call that Zed. I don't know why, but it's called Zed. And I purchased what was the ticket, like $55 from Athens to Paris. I purchased it last night, and I think it's still a standby ticket, so I don't think it's confirmed. I think I still have to wait and see if there are seats. I'm praying, since I paid $50 or I paid something, that there is going to be a seat for me. There's no way for me to check the flight load numbers because I don't work for that airline. I'm flying Air France. So I'm just sending up a prayer that there is a seat for me and I can get to Paris. There's 2 flights, Athens to Paris on Air France today. So once I confirm that there is a seat and I'll be flying to Paris, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase a few nights at a hostel. I do have like 2 or 3 hostels that I saw were available, and they seemed to meet my basic requirements, like cleanliness. They're not like super far out in the suburbs, stuff like that, and like in under $60 per night. That is what's going on today. Another adventure. So I'm eyeing November 3rd as my date to return home, because that's the day that has the best seat options for me to fly my airline back home. And also I can make it back by November 4th so I can vote, because I didn't even think to do like an absentee ballot or whatever you do when you're out of town. So yeah, that is my plan. Fly to Paris today, spend like 4 or 5 days in Paris, second leg of my birthday vacation, and then fly back on November 3rd with my airline and get a really good seat. In Jesus' name, that is the plan. We will see how it goes. Thankful for the opportunity to even have these options and to enjoy this birthday vacation in these places that I've never been before, and getting from point A to point B in one piece. It's a beautiful thing. I did not board the flight that I listed for. It was completely full. I've been here for like 5 hours, and now I have to wait like 4 more hours until the next flight boards. There's nothing like a Mediterranean vacation to teach an anxious, easily agitated American boy from New Jersey how to go with the flow, let go, and relax into the pleasures of life. I'm glad to cross Athens off my list, and I so look forward to seeing more of Greece in the near future. If you made it this far, leave an olive emoji in the comments. Thank you for watching, sharing, and subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in Paris.